Step one, dynamic processing.
Hey, I be tipping through that H time, floating in that lat.
So for starters, to get our dynamic processing going, we're going to go reach for the plugin Maxim. Now, I believe it's mostly a default plugin. It comes with Pro Tools, and I think it comes with a couple of other DAWs too. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in, we're gonna get on our master track. Now, mine's is labeled full mix. Now, you can you can revert back to my other video. It'll kind of explain more in depth why I have this track full mix as the master. Okay, so continuing on from there, we're going to come to the second slot. Okay, second slot on your master, and we're going to add the Maxim plugin. Okay, now why is it on the second slot? Stay with me. You'll understand why I have it on the second slot in the chain. Okay, so my goal is I'm trying to get the loudness between -8, -9, LUFS. Okay. I like my loudness around in that section. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come lower the ceiling to about -1. Okay. Yeah, we do -1. Okay. And so I'm gonna use my metering system. This is also a Waves plugin in WLM. And that's how I'm going to achieve what my numbers are. Okay. Now, this track is called Ken Bailey. It's by an artist named Fredo Pounds. Okay. So make sure you guys go follow him on Instagram, show him some love and all that other good stuff. That'd be much appreciated. Okay. So I've already mixed the track. Everything is to my liking. Everything is how I want it. So now all we're going to be concentrating on is the mastering. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to be looking to hit between -8, -9. I'll let you guys preview the track while I get that handled. Okay. Here you go.
Drug dealing on the corner, trying not to be a goner. When the block is hot, we losing weight, it's like a sauna. This V12, it got performance, riding with endurance. You got guns and jewels, but you ain't got no life insurance. When you grinding, life is boring, that's just what it is. Run that money up and buy some crypto for your kids. Free my doing bids, locked down, cause a melee. Know I got some pictures and some money on that JPay.
Okay, we sounding good, man. It's already heading in the right direction, man. We're hitting about -8, -9. Our long term is between, I've seen it change, maybe -11, -10. Everything that I'm trying to hit for my loudness is good to go, and we're on our way. Step two, can't forget about EQ. Okay, so now that we have our loudness hitting the parameters that we were aiming for, okay, we are now going to go to the first slot and add an EQ. Now, it does not matter which EQ you use. I'm going to be using the FabFilter Pro Q3, okay? So we're going to go to the first slot. We're going to go to EQ, okay? And then I'm going to go over to the FabFilter Pro Q3. That's the one I'm going to use. Okay. Now, what you're aiming to do here is you're trying to cut between 150 hertz to 1,000 kilohertz. Okay. That's like the sweet spot to clean up a lot of the mud and a lot of unwanted buildup, low frequencies. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be aiming to do. I'm going to let you guys preview the track. Here we go.
Drug dealing on the corner, trying not to be a goner. When the block is hot, we losing weight, it's like a sauna. This V12, it got performance, riding with endurance. You got guns and jewels, but you ain't got no life insurance. When you grinding, life is boring, that's just what it is. Run that money up and buy some crypto for your kids. Free my doing bids, locked down, cause a melee. Know I got some pictures and some money on that JPay. Do the gangway, show 'em we don't play. When he hit it first, the fiend danced like he was Ray J. Looking for that payday, cause that's what's on my mind. I know I gotta get it, can't be out here wasting time. You gotta watch your back, I know these watching mine. Cause Chris Paul in these streets and most these dropping dimes.
Okay, so I have my cut is about around 400 hertz. And then I cut a little bit off the high frequency at about 6,000 hertz. Now, when you do this, okay, it cleans up a lot of that, like I said, that low frequency, mud buildup that you have in your track, like just from plugins and stuff like that. and it also clears out like the clarity that you get for the side information. It just gets, it just opens up the whole entire track. Okay, and I'll let you guys preview it here again. I'll just bypass it so you can see what it's doing to the actual track.
Drug dealing on the corner, trying not to be a goner. When the block is hot, we losing weight, it's like a sauna. This V12, it got performance, riding with endurance. You got guns and jewels, but you ain't got no life insurance. When you grinding, life is boring, that's just what it is. Run that money up and buy some crypto for your kids. Free.
Sounds good, man. On to the next. Step 3, time to break out the de-esser. Now that we have our EQ and we have our loudness to our liking, we're now going to be adding in the third slot a de-esser. Now, to some of you guys maybe, just to answer you guys thought, because I'm thinking that, because I was kind of like this when I first heard it, de-esser is normally supposed to be for vocals. That may be what some of you may be asking. Okay. Now, some years back, when I was kind of getting into this whole mixing and mastering, just on my journey as an engineer, I used to think the same thing. Well, man, I took care of the, my DS and my syllabus and my vocals, right? And so I learned from a senior engineer that, sometimes, especially in this day and age, when we're recording the vocals with 2-track, there's a lot we can't go in and clean up as as it pertains to the instrumental. Now they have stuff where you can kind of split the instrumental up and like the stems and stuff like that, right? But as far as some of those instruments, we may not be able to get to them because of the simple fact of, obviously you gave me the 2-track, okay? And so sometimes when you have the vocal and you clash it with the 2-track, sometimes those two frequencies may be causing more sibilance, even though you've cleaned it up on the vocal side, right? So what I'm going to do on the third slot, we're going to go in, we're going to add a de-esser. Okay. Now I'm going to use the one from Waves. There's a bunch of stock de-essers. Don't worry. I'm pretty sure you guys have one. If you're following along, I'm pretty sure you have one in your bundle that came with your DAW, or whatever. But I know Pro Tools has one that comes with it too. Okay. Now, a lot of that syllabus buildup, it normally occurs, like at least from my hearing, it normally occurs around that 7,000 kilohertz area. So that's what I'm going to be working with today. Okay. And then I'm going to let you guys, preview the track as I get it going.
Drug dealing on the corner, trying not to be a goner. When the block is hot, we losing weight, it's like a sauna. This V12, it got performance, riding with endurance. You got guns and jewels, but you ain't got no life insurance. When you grinding, life is boring, that's just what it is. Run that money up and buy some crypto for your kids. Free my doing bids, locked down, cause a melee. Know I got some pictures and some money on that JPay. Do the gangway, show 'em we don't play. When he hit it first, the fiend danced like he was Ray J. Looking for that payday, cause that's what's on my mind. I know I gotta get it, can't be out here wasting time.
And you can hear it. It's just it's very obvious what it's doing in this frequency range. But that's how you clean up, some syllabus. Like if you still have some that's hanging over into your track or into your master track, throw on that de-esser. And last but not least, step 4, time to move on to the limiter. Now that we have combined the powers of the EQ and also the de-esser, okay, we may have lost a few dBs as it pertains to our LUFS. And for the 4th slot, this is where my limiter comes into play, okay? I don't really want to go back to my Maxim and crush it from there. That's going to be going into my de-esser, okay? This is why we have the chains, okay? So I'm going to go to my 4th slot, and I'm going to be adding the L2. Okay, this is another limiter from Waves. If you haven't figured it out by now, I actually like Waves plugins. I've been using them for a very long time, and I like some of the updates they did with some other stuff. There's a lot of other, good, plugins out there that I've used or whatnot, but I don't know. It's just something about the Waves plugin. They're just easy to get to, easy to work with. So this is what I'm reverting to, the L2. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come here, and I normally lower the ceiling to about -3, just to catch any peaks, And then I also am I gonna come to the threshold over here? And this is when I'm gonna bring back up my metering. Okay. So without further ado, I'll let you guys preview that. And then I'm trying to get back to my -8, -9 area that I was working with before. Okay.
Drug dealing on the corner, trying not to be a goner. When the block is hot, we losing weight, it's like a sauna. This V12, it got performance, riding with endurance. You got guns and jewels, but you ain't got no life insurance. When you grinding, life is boring, that's just what it is. Run that money up and buy some crypto for your kids. Free my doing bids, lockdown, cause a melee. Know I got some pictures and some money on that JPay. Do the gangway, show 'em we don't play. When he hit it first, the fiend danced like he was Ray J. Looking for that payday, cause that's what's on my mind. I know I gotta get it, can't be out here wasting time. You gotta watch your back, I know these watching mine. Cause Chris Paul.
And there you have it. We're back at -8, -9. I know if you didn't catch it when I first started the track, we were hitting at about -12, all right? And that, like I said, that has a lot more to do with what we did in our EQ stage and what we did in the de-esser stage, okay? So instead of trying to go back and like double back to my Maxim and crank it up from there, like I said, because you're gonna be feeding more loudness into the de-esser, I'd use the L2 at the end just to catch any peaks that's coming through. And then it gets us back up to our LUFS aim that we were trying to get before, all right? Simple. Now, if you were able to grab anything from this video, man, make sure you guys like, make sure you guys comment, make sure you guys share, and most importantly, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to get the latest and greatest. For my tracked out guys, tracked out engineers, man, if you're working with some tracked out beats, I still got a video coming for that. And I also got a request to do some stock plug-in mixes, man. I hadn't really given that much thought, so I may have a video coming for that too, just dealing with the stock plugins, man. But until then, you guys be safe. Peace. Oh, and random shout out, go Rockets, go Texans, man. Peace.